December 29th, 2016, Vince on the left, Sarah and Bonnie on the right, and that's me. We had a weird encounter standing on the porch of the cabin up in North Florida. That's Vince. He's the one that originally encountered it. I think it's a Bigfoot. Could be something else. It's definitely not a hog or any other wildlife out there. Vince was standing on the porch at about, I think it was around 4:30 a.m. It's daylight here, of course, in the pictures, just for reference. The girls were in the cabin, and I was in the cabin for about 40 minutes, and Vince was standing out front for a couple of hours. I went in there for about 40 minutes to warm up. We had 3 high-grade, high-power grid lasers laying on the porch deck, which is about 10 feet off the forest floor, as you see in the picture here. A grid laser puts a green laser dot, and you put it out on the forest, and just one of them covers just about every leaf out there. 3 of them is a dazzling effect. We use it for, which will be in a future video, you spirit entities walk by, you can detect them. It makes the whole forest, even though it's pitch black at night, it's like 3D. It doesn't bother the wildlife, and you can see something walk through it. There's a picture here that we took. It doesn't do it justice because the aperture of the lens just cannot capture every laser dot. So really, when you walk out there, it's just brilliant. I don't think there's a leaf that's not hit with a bright green dot. The funny thing is Vince was standing on the porch and something was standing right there. I believe it was a Bigfoot, and it was about 50 feet out. And I think it was just observing him standing there. And he was motionless with he had a cup of coffee in his hand, which was cold. And it was these new coffee cups that we had just got. They're made out of like steel. And it was a cold night, and he's pretty good at standing still, pretty good hunter, and he was standing next to the railing, and he went to throw the coffee over the railing, and the coffee never made it out onto the forest floor. He went to make the motion of pulling the coffee cup up over the railing and jerking it forward. Whatever it was that was standing there observing him went ballistic, and this is about where it was standing right here, 10 feet to the left of this feeder, which would be the right if you're on the porch facing outward. And it just tore off, and it was like just acting crazy, stomping its feet and breaking branches and stepping on everything. And this is what the view looks like right here of in the daylight. But the green dots, he was just out of range of the green dots, even though the laser grid can go, a quarter mile back into the woods. He was standing in the shadows of that one spot behind a tree, and of course he was standing there motionless, so Vince didn't detect him. But certainly, even though you're blinded by all the laser array out in the woods looking up, I believe that this entity saw Vince lurch forward with his coffee cup, and our opinion is of what happened is Bigfoot probably thought that we pulled a handgun on him and we're going to take a shot at him, and he just went ballistic, and he stomped off. If you're looking right here out toward the woods off the porch, he went to the left, and Vince was out there. I didn't hear this part, but Vince told me I came out there right after it happened, and he told me immediately, hush. He goes, then he's whispering to me what happened, and I could just still hear him stomping back into the woods. Not running. It wasn't a hog sitting there with his jaw popping like it normally would, eating corn. It was just standing still, motionless. And Vince never heard him walk up. And so it walks off to the left, and now I'm out front, and I can hear him making a circle around and coming up behind the cabin, about 75 or 100 feet to the left of the cabin. He is now stomping his feet so hard that I could feel the percussion of it on the cabin porch. I could actually feel the cabin moving. I mean, I could stomp my feet out there in the woods, and you could stand 3 feet away, and you can't feel it in the ground. So I got a little video clip coming up of me coming up in the next morning. I was pretty excited. I could hardly sleep. I only had a few more hours of sleep, but I couldn't wait to get out there and cast some prints. Because whatever it was, I was thinking that the footprints would be 3 inches deep. Whether there's leaves or dirt out there, somewhere I was going to cast a print. And here's just another example of the craziness that goes on with Sasquatch research. I mean, I heard him walk through the woods. Vince and I both heard him on the second round, him coming up to the left, and he was making his presence known. He couldn't have hit that ground any harder, weighing 800 pounds. You could obviously hear him walking on 2 feet, and I've heard thousands of hogs get up and run away. But here's what happens.
Last night, I think it was December 29th, you can see our cabin out there in the distance. Vince was standing on the porch at 4:15 a.m. Standing still for a long time. We had a laser grid that illuminated the woods off the porch, and he wasn't moving for the longest time. And he had a cold cup of coffee in his hand, in a metal cup, one of those camping cups. And he decided just to sling it forward off the porch onto the ground, the cold coffee. And when he did that, something huge took off, really pissed. And you could hear it push all the foliage aside. Bushes probably broke. I haven't gone and looked yet. Snaps. Stomped off to the left. And there's a corn feeder for game. He was 10 feet from it to the right. If it was a hog, it would have stopped and would have been eating there. You would have heard his jaws popping. But it was just evidently just standing there and observing the porch, looking at the laser grid, and observing Vince. That's what we're speculating. And when you're looking at that laser grid in the dark at the cabin, it's very difficult to make out the porch because you're blinded. And you're definitely at ground level. You can't see the porch from where this animal or entity was. And it took off with a vengeance and was stomping and breaking stuff. I came out, I went in the cabin because I was freezing to get warm, and I come back out, and Vince was telling me the story. And then it came up to the left-hand side of the cabin, which you can see here. And I'm doing a grid in here looking for tracks because I heard it this time, and it was a biped. Absolutely. Stomping the ground so hard that you could just feel the percussion from it. And it was pushing these palms aside. I could hear breakage. It was just really, it was letting us know that it was pissed. Vince with a cup of coffee, my take on it was, if it's Sasquatch watching, he thought that Vince raised his hand with a handgun in it. And it got scared and pissed and took off. And I think it was still pissed, and 5 minutes later it sounds like it comes from this direction here and then walks this way. And there's there's the side of the cabin, the porch is on the left-hand side facing that way. And over there, about 25 yards out, is where the feeder's at. So it came up here and it was stomping so hard, there was no way it was a hog. I've heard thousands of hogs take off. I've heard them pissed, I've heard them running, I've heard them fighting with each other. I've seen black boars the size of a small leather couch. And yeah, they shake the ground, but you gotta be next to it. This was just incredible. This is what it sounded like. It just like boom, 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 boom. And I can't even affect this ground with my feet. This creature had to be, sounded like it had to be 800 pounds with size 20 feet. I mean, it was just letting us know that it was pissed. And right now I'm looking for anything that's broken. I'm looking for tracks. Problem is we got leaves on the ground, and look at this. Look at right there. I can't even make a footprint. So that's the problem. It's always the problem. So trying to find tracks in here of something even that heavy that comes through is very unlikely. But I heard it with my own ears. The second time it came through, I heard it walk for about probably 70 feet. And it made its presence known. And it was telling us it was pissed. That's got me kind of worried now, because now it thinks that, we're going to take a pop shot at it. There's a tree over there that snapped. And this is what the heck was that? I just heard it. Broke here. Still looking for tracks. I swear this thing was so big, I wouldn't be surprised if it could break that tree. What would knock? Look at this. There's another one that's broken. I mean, where did this come from? It's not rotten. I'm not saying Bigfoot would have knocked something that big over. But yeah, it started definitely right in here and started going north. And it was just amazing. I mean, if anybody would have heard it, they would have said that's on 2 feet. I mean, it's got to be something that's, the size of this that he came through and broke. Because I heard trees breaking, and I heard everything being slammed aside. But the ground just does not record. You can see where animals have walked through here, but there's something that's busted. There's a tree that's pushed over. I was just absolutely stunned. And I would say this is probably right where he's coming through. But yeah, there's no way it was a hog. There's no way. That looks like it could be a track, but I mean, I got casting powder. If I find one, it's gonna get casted. See, if he walked in something like this, See, still even that. It's frustrating. And all this happened right when I turned my high definition night vision off. Where is... I'm not going to record this whole because it just takes too long, but I'm definitely going to do it. That's been broken for a while. It's dead. I mean, it's hard to say exactly how close he was to this cabin. I don't think he was any closer than that. I mean, I don't know how he could have made so much noise in here. That's something else too. If a hog's gonna walk through here, he's gonna make noise stepping on this stuff. But it's not going to stomp the ground with the force that it did. This is just so frustrating. There are times of the year where this is just all black mud in here. But where is all the broken limbs I heard? It's almost like it can move in and out of... There's something that's broken. That wouldn't have made the noise. These are snaps. These trees were snapping. It's just amazing. It's like he's half in, half out, and like he's moving in and out of timelines. And in some other timeline, all these trees are busted in here. There's something much more going on than we realize. I don't see any sign. This is definitely a game trail right here. And this is how far he was from the cabin. Where there's a tree that's broke, but you can see the dead leaves on there. So that's been dead. That's been broken for a while. Yes, I'm looking for snakes as well. Definitely, since I got scuba booties on. That's my favorite thing to walk in the woods with. I mean, look at this. This is like... I mean, what was he breaking? That's broken fresh, but not too fresh. I mean, there's a lot of green on there, but there's some dead on there. I mean, it could have been half dead when he pushed it over, but I mean, I heard 30 snaps, large snaps. I mean, is it actually trees that he's breaking, or is he making this sound? Could it be slamming his chest with his palm? And it mimics the sound of a tree breaking? Is that what people are hearing? Because that's what's going on. He's making some other sound than actually breaking trees. I mean, where is the evidence? Here's a fresh tree. That's definitely fresh. But that was not broken last night. None of this was broken last night. There's limbs there break. This I mean, that could be some sounds I heard. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was just aiming for old palms. But all I need is one patch of dirt. Whoa! Oh, that's Vince. Yo! You scared the hell out of me. I saw that black jacket. I was like, I can't find anything broken in here.
It sounded like it was on the side of the cabin.
Well, yeah, but it was also right there, in front of you, and you first heard it. But I mean, there's lots of stuff broken in here, but it's not fresh. More brakes. I mean, if you're an animal, you can move through in here. You can move in through here and not make any noise. Even if you're trying to evade something. Whatever it was purposely showing it was pissed. You know, I've been 50 years old. I've been hunting alone since I was 11. In forest, woods since I was 8. I mean, I know all the sounds. This is something else. Jeez, I can't even. I mean, I'm 200 pounds. That was one of the sounds right there. I mean, just louder than that, much louder. See, it's rotten. Some of the trees are rotten. That wasn't loud enough. Undescribable. You just can't describe how loud it was. What was he breaking? It's got to be a sound he's making with his body. Just like when I communicate with Veronica using a talking board. I said, how does he making these tree knocks? He's only like one person has ever seen him walking with a stick. How is he making these tree knocks? She said he uses his feet. The sound of two river rocks chattering together, that's his teeth. So this is another sound he uses with his body. He's got to be hitting his chest, and it's got to be making this, cracking sound. It's not a wood knock. The wood knock would be with his feet. This is a crack, like he's mimicking. He's mimicking. Here we go, right here. That's one of the sounds right there I heard. But I don't even see anything like that. So, these are just, this is my video vlog of my experience, another experience that is unexplainable. I mean, look at these leaves. Nothing big looks like it's come through here. Nothing fresh is broke. It's impossible. Impossible. Okay. Now which way are you walking? I think it's just too dark. It's too dark to function out here. We should be on the dirt road. It's hard enough to walk on the dirt road. Then we see the ghost with the flashlight. Whoa, whoa. What is it? What is it?
Something's ran by me.
What do you mean ran by you? What is it? Dude, what the fuck?
Where?
What is it?
The floor.
Where?
150-pound boar.
Huh?
Crashing in there.
Holy fuck, you scared the shit out of me. You're lucky, dude. I told you there's boars in here. Fuck, my heart's beating a mile a minute. I saw something black. I thought it was a fucking shadow. Huh? I can tell you, bro, this is a pretty dangerous situation right here. Because if there's some big ones in here, they'll charge you. I hear him. Did you hit him?
I hit the shadow that's going right by me. I think I went high on him though. Because I was pulling back. I was stepping back. Because it sounded like it was coming towards us at first.
Well, it probably was. Good eye. Okay, now we're walking with the lights on. I knew there's boars in here. I could tell.
About me, bro.
Huh?
Got no wings about me. There's like 3 of them. Yeah, scared them off.
That's all right. I'd rather than be fucking scared off than fucking cut us to pieces. Yeah, fuck that. I'm not walking in the total darkness ever again. Watch these stumps.
You heard it, right?
Yeah, I heard it and I saw it. I could not believe something would run that close to us.
Well, I think he snuck up on us.
Well, yeah, he probably,
They were standing still. We just come right up on his trail.
you got what?
Look at red light.
Fuck that. I ain't walking around my light on again. Dude, I've seen hogs in here the size of black leather couches.
Turn it down a minute.
Look at this. Look at the ground right here.
Oh, wow.
What is that? It's like big footsteps. Yeah, come on. Let's get back on the road. Let's get on the road.